Guyana is going to be one of the richest countries on this planet.
You came to the U.S. at the age of 17 from Hyderabad.
I initially worked for a travel agency for a year or so and then started my own travel agency, which was basically a very successful travel business called Supersonic Travel. We had 7 locations in the U.S. Supersonic became a household name.
आपने South Asians को American politics में involve किया. Tell us a bit about that journey.
A day before this great speech that Barack Obama gave, we went to see him. I saw a big change in him in the 4 months time frame. It was always already looking like a U.S. senator, the way body language changed and everything. So because of our relationship that we have engaged from when you are at the junior level and when you become a president, obviously your relationship is very solid.
And you're somebody that has experience across business, politics, and such a breadth of experience. So what would your advice be to somebody young that's watching? Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Community Connect. This is Fatima Aslam. Today I'm joined by Mr. Lutfi Hassan, a prominent businessman, civic leader, and the Honorary Consul General of Guyana to Southwest United States. He's also Goodwill Ambassador. So we'll be talking to Mr. Lutfi Hassan about the amazing work that he's done across business, politics, and international affairs. So let's welcome him to the show. Assalamu alaikum, Mr. Hassan.
Walaikum salam. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here.
Yes.
So, Mr. Hassan, आप बहुत young age में जैसे हमारी बात हुई थी, you came to the US at the age of 17 from Hyderabad. तो आप उस journey के बारे में थोड़ा बताएं कि आप इस मुल्क में कैसे आए?
So I'll tell you, actually 17 I left Hyderabad.
Okay.
And my first stopover was Muscat, Oman.
Okay.
My dad actually was an insurance company executive. So I joined him there and I had gotten myself trained in the travel industry. So I first joined a travel agency working for Pakistan International Airlines GSA, Al-Dawish Travels. That's where I actually sharpened my skills of the travel business before moving to the U.S. I initially worked for a travel agency for a year or so and then started my own travel agency, which was basically a very successful travel business called Supersonic Travel. Yeah. So the old-timers in Houston remember me as a travel agency guy. I was associated with the airline industry. So I did extremely well. We were spread all over the United States. We had 7 locations in the US. Supersonic became a household name back then. And then, of course, years later, when I saw the writing on the wall, they were cutting out the commissions and, online ticketing वगैरह शुरू हो रही थी. So then I started diversifying. Before I left Supersonic, I had gotten involved with the car dealership business. So I had a car dealership on Southwest Freeway, actually, and did well. I used to import cars from Europe. Back then we had something called gray market cars. And so you could import and, sell the cars, convert them into U.S. standards and then sell them. So I did that extremely well. And once I started diversifying, then I went on to do other businesses. I was young and I had that entrepreneurial spirit, and was not afraid to take chances. Entrepreneurship, as you know, is it comes with a lot of risk, and risk has rewards. So I knew that so from get-go. Yeah. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has been very gracious and very merciful and in giving me success. Of course, when you do businesses, when you take risk, you also have failures. But compared to my successes, failures were much less. Yeah. So I was able to keep myself going. And alhamdulillah, we built a group called the Apex Group, which has been in existence. And my children basically now run the Apex Group of companies. We have various verticals in Apex Group that we work with, and so alhamdulillah, I've taken a backseat approach now. I'm doing the other neat stuff, which is basically representing Guyana and promoting Guyana and educating people of what's happening in Guyana.
Yeah.
Guyana is the new thriving economy. Probably right now, not probably actually, is the number one in GDP growth in the world. So for the past 4-5 years now, they have been doing extremely well.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are now paying attention to Guyana.
Yeah. So Mr. Hassan, जैसे आप अभी बता रहे हैं कि आपने गयाना का मेंशन किया है. So it's an incredible opportunity, as you're saying. So tell us a bit more about the country. Maybe कोई ये show देख रहा है and they haven't heard of Guyana before. So where is Guyana and what's happening there, जिसके बारे में लोगों को पता होना चाहिए?
So Guyana actually is in South America.
Okay.
The beauty of Guyana is they actually are south of the Caribbean, which is the CARICOM countries, and they are north of Brazil, so which is South America. So they actually, when it's convenient, they can call themselves as a CARICOM country. Otherwise, they can call themselves as the South American country, because they sit on top of Brazil. Our southern border abuts with northern Brazil, so Guyana is located there. And 86% of Guyana is Amazon rainforest, and the 10%, the 90% of the population lives on the 10% landmass. So the country obviously is almost like an uncharted territory for people basically to come in and look at the possibilities of developing ecotourism per se. It's a beautiful country with a lot of upside potential to do tourism. Farming is a big thing because of the Amazon rainforest. The vegetation is so good over there. You can grow anything. You don't have to use chemicals. When I go there and I, for instance, coconut water, when you drink coconut water, it is as if somebody has actually added sugar to your coconut water. Oh. It's so sweet. Everything, the fruits are organic, vegetables are all organic. It really is amazing taste. Yeah. Whatever you cook. So Guyana basically has a humongous potential for hospitality industry. They lack hotels. There's a shortage of approximately 3,000 rooms per day. Okay. A 4-star hotel, Marriott is a 4-star hotel that exists there. It costs almost close to $800 to $1,000 a night. Wow. Okay. Because of the supply and demand, because of the shortage. So there is a huge opportunity for hospitality industry. There's a huge opportunity for the food industry, restaurants. I see in Houston there's so much competition, and every day we see a new restaurant coming up here, and they have to compete with so many others. I invite people, whether they are from Houston, from U.S., from Pakistan, or from Bangladesh or elsewhere, from India. I invite people to look at what is happening in Guyana. I can assure you that if they actually take a deep dive to find out what is happening there, they will definitely decide to travel and look at and explore the possibilities there.
So if someone's considering, if somebody listens to this and is considering to perhaps invest in Guyana, of course, one of the things that comes into someone's mind is, what about the visas, or what about citizenship, and what happens, how do you move there? So can you tell us a bit about that? What are the policies?
Yes, a very good question, by the way. Guyana offers you an opportunity to own business. You don't need a sponsor. All foreigners are welcome to start their business. They will get the visa, residence visa, on the basis of your business.
Okay.
And other beauty of going to Guyana is that you invest in Guyana, whether you invest or you work in Guyana, no matter what visa you come on, after 5 years, you're eligible to apply for a citizenship of Guyana.
Okay.
So the people who are going there even to work, no matter what kind of residence visa you go on, you actually have an opportunity to apply for a citizenship in 5 years.
Wow.
And so just imagine in 5 years where Guyana would be, because right now, as we speak, Guyana is the third largest oil producer.
Okay.
They discovered oil in 2015. ExxonMobil did that. In 2019, on a fast track, they started producing oil. And right now, they're producing about 1 million barrels a day, 900 some thousand barrels a day. And next year, they're going to be producing, once they get the other FPSO delivered, they will be producing close to 1.4 million barrels a day.
Okay.
That means they will surpass Kuwait and Qatar in GDP per capita. Wow. So Guyana is going to be one of the richest countries on this planet.
Yeah.
And so people who are listening in, your viewers, I'm trying to address them that they need to take a serious look at Guyana and take this opportunity, because this will not last. As we have seen in the Middle East, okay? When Middle East growth started, when they found oil about 50 years ago, back in 70s, everybody was flocking to the Middle East, right?
Yeah.
They were going to UAE, to Abu Dhabi, to Qatar, and all these places. Guyana is on steroids right now, just like the Middle East was back then. And so the beauty of Guyana, when you compare it to the Middle East, they have actually an educated, civilized society. You're not dealing with people who had trouble speaking English. It's the only English-speaking country in South America, actually. Yeah. And so they have basically people who are educated, cultured people, and they understand, your needs, your business needs, support you. And so this is a huge opportunity. And there's a huge difference between what happened back then versus what is happening in Guyana. Yeah. So I would urge your viewers, no matter where they are watching this interview, to consider looking up. These days on Google, you find everything. And another place to go to is Guyana Office of Investment. It's called Go Invest. It's a government website directly out of the President's office. It's operated, it's an agency out of President's office. So go to Go Invest and look at what is happening. They keep updating on the opportunities, and of course the tax breaks that they will offer for the manufacturing companies if they want to come and add basically employment to the population there. They welcome that, and they will give you a tax break for a 10-year tax holiday. So even if you are doing very well in whatever you're manufacturing, but you're paying 30-40% taxes, you could move to Guyana, the same thing, and save those 30-40% that'll add to your profit. So it's a place where you have to definitely pay attention, and everything obviously it goes away from being time passes, and this opportunity will be taken away by somebody else. So you need to grab the opportunity now and basically build on it. And you go there, I assure you that you will bring 10 of your other friends and relatives to come and look at what is happening.
Yeah. No, this is, such great information, and I'm sure anyone that's watching at least will go and see what's happening in Guyana. And, it's very important that you highlighted it because, as you said, opportunities come and go, and it's all about timing and being at the right place and making the moves at the right time. आपको business के साथ साथ आपने, politically, civically भी आपने अपनी ज़िंदगी में बहुत active रहे हैं. So, आपको credit भी दिया जाता है कि आपने South Asians को American politics में involve किया है. Tell us a bit about that journey.
So we started actually South Asian Chamber of Commerce first.
जी.
We quickly realized that in order for our chamber to do well is basically to get involved with the politicians who are the doorkeepers of the various agencies, if you will, whether it is the city council or the mayor, state representatives. When you talk about the House of Representatives, State House in Austin, talk about senators, state senators. So we started with the local politics, if you will. So when we started inviting them to come as speakers, they saw that our community obviously is very affluent and we can write checks.
Yeah.
And as you know, campaign ka jo hai, the blood and sweat of a campaign is funding.
Yeah.
So when you have a good candidate and then you have that candidate equipped with finance, and then obviously, they make a very good lethal combination to be successful. When Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee started her campaign to run for the Congress, because she was a councilwoman before that, I was offered to serve on her finance committee. So that was a breakthrough. I was the first one who actually understood clearly that this is our way to succeed in terms of building our chamber.
You've obviously, hosted and spoken to Secretary Clinton, Bill Clinton, so across the many decades. So,
Yes.
How was that experience?
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing. The first president actually that we helped, so when President Clinton was running for his second term, that's when I got involved because of our relationship with Sheila Jackson Lee, and she'd already become a congresswoman. So we had, I remember when the president won the election in 1996, that was his second term. We were all invited to his inauguration in Washington, D.C. So from not even knowing the city hall in Houston, and now we're knocking on the door in Washington, D.C. That was some accomplishment. And we basically were recognized as a South Asian chamber going to Washington, D.C. in the halls of the White House, So it was quite satisfactory to all of us that we are doing everything right. Then I get a call from a young state senator, Barack Obama, from Chicago. And he said, I'm coming to Houston. I've got your name from the DNC list. And he called NOMI as well, because we were one of the big fundraisers in Houston. And then he came to see us in Houston first. And as a state senator, we didn't know who Barack Obama was, never had heard his name. And we got sold on him. When he came to see, was supposed to see us for 30 minutes, spent an hour and a half. And he goes back. We promised to do an event for him. He goes back, and then lucky for him that his opposition basically had a problem, a scandal, and he dropped. So therefore, he was a sure shot U.S. senator. And so we met him a day before his rock star speech, which had made him a rock star at the convention, DNC convention. So a day before this great speech that Barack Obama gave, we went to see him because we had gotten to know him.
Yeah.
And he was staying in a furnished apartment in Boston. And so when we went, so I took back then Senator Rodney Ellis, who's now our commissioner. Senator Ellis said, "Hey man, I want to go with you to see," because I've only spoken to him on the phone, because he carried a bill for it was a bill that he passed in Illinois, and he wanted some guidance, so he had called Senator Ellis on criminal justice, and he said, "I want to see him." So we went there to meet with Barack Obama, and I saw a big change in him in the 4 months time frame. He was already looking like a U.S. senator, the way body language changed and everything.
Yeah.
So because of our relationship that we have engaged from when you are at the floor level, at the junior level, and when you become a president, obviously your relationship is very solid.
Yeah.
So when he ran for the presidency, we got a chance actually to get to know him so well. And so beyond that, every time actually he came to Houston or I met him elsewhere, he would give a very special recognition.
Yeah.
So our community like that has grown from being, nowhere to going to, of course, presidential meetings, advising him on things and recruiting people from our community to be injected in the administration, as intern, as for the jobs. And so we came a long way.
Yeah. So Mr. Hassan, the final question, what would your advice be to somebody young that's watching? We have a lot of young viewers, and you've somebody that has experience across business, politics, and such a breadth of experience. So what would your advice be to somebody young that's watching?
I believe that whatever they are doing, they need to do it with conviction.
Okay.
Choose the line that pleases you, because these days young people have their own mindset. And when I was growing up, we didn't have our mindset. We were always guided by our parents, our elders, our senior friends. But here now, of course, kids have their own mindset, but they need to pick what they like to do, but be determined. Do it with conviction. And the one thing that I advise my juniors, my kids, now, mashallah, grandkids, they're growing up, and I hope to advise them as well as they grow up, is that, honesty, integrity is the key to your success. Don't look at shortcuts, because there are people who will look at shortcuts, especially when you get challenges in life. When things are not moving in the direction that you want, you always want to compromise and you take a shortcut. And that is the killer thing you're doing.
Yeah.
You never do that. Be solid in your belief. That's why I say go with conviction. You will take a fall. In business, the key for a successful business person, or for that matter in any career, when you take a fall, you need to know how to get up and go again.
Yeah.
Don't get depressed. Don't blame God for, not helping you or sending you, because God is giving you that challenge so you can learn from that mistake. There is always, when I look back at my failures, I say to myself, thank God that I went through it, because it made me actually a more solid person, a greater person in my outlook. So when you look back, you will always realize that that was the best thing that happened.
Yeah.
It was not actually a bad thing. Bad things do happen to people, but there's a reason for it. always trust in Almighty.
Yeah.
Don't take shortcuts.
Yeah.
So honesty and integrity is the key to being successful in no matter what you do in life.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Lutfi, for taking out the time. It's an honor to have you.
No, it's my pleasure, and thank you for having me, and thank you for actually educating me about Hum TV. I didn't know much about it, but thank you so much for educating me. I'll be watching, and I want to say to your audience that think about Guyana.
Yeah.
Guyana is a place that you ought to, no matter where you live, whether you live in North America, Europe, or wherever your audience is watching this, please consider looking at Guyana for your next business or for your job. There are many oil and gas companies recruiting people to take to Guyana. So they need to look at that possibility.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Hum TV, for sponsoring the show. And thank you to our sponsors as well. See you next time with a new episode and a new guest.